Hey y'all, I'm back today to do a quick flip through of these two journals that I showed last weekend that I hadn't quite finished. I hadn't finished the charm on this one and I wanted to add some other goodies to them. I didn't do any like embellishing. These are already spoken for to the two ladies. They wanted to see a flip through before I ship them out to them. I put together a nice, I'm not going to pull all this out, this will be a surprise. I put together a nice little fabric selection of bits and pieces for my customers to use in their journals. This one is also a nice, very healthy pack that comes with this one. They're different price points, so this pack is a little healthier than this one, but still a lot of stuff, a lot of things in both of them. Okay, so on this one I did just take a piece of sari because I had this sort of pinkish and beige color that I thought looked pretty around this. You don't have to use that as a tie. I don't really have, I tried different things. I don't really have anything that I really liked to use as a tie on this one, and this one is just, I don't know. I don't think either one of them really need ties. Not every journal needs a tie, so she can do whatever she wants as far as that goes for the tie. I'm gonna flip through this one real quick because I said I was gonna be quick, okay? So I did write some notes down a while back when I made this particular journal. And what did I do with my little sticky note? I went back and added pockets. Here we go. So this one has 54 pages. If you count just each individual page like that, I'm not counting all the bits and the things that I added in. Has 4 signatures. It's 6.5 by 8 with a 2.5 inch spine. Okay. I did add this linen on the front pocket, and then the other piece of that didn't have any kind of image or anything on it, so it's just a white pocket. And then there's goodies tucked in here. I'm not going to pull everything out because I do want some things to be, you know, sort of a surprise. I like to have I like you guys, when you purchase a journal from me, to get some extra things that you didn't know were coming. But I am going to flip through this. I added one of these texture paste pieces that I've had in my stash for quite some time. It's a vintage music with some and this is not a texture paste. This is a drywall spackle, but it works the same as texture paste. So it's a little bit thicker, but it holds up really nice as long as you don't, you know, bend and you know, crack it and stuff like that. But it's been in my stash for over a year, so I added that in there, and it's got some tea-dyed paper. So this is, I think this is a darker coffee dye. And then I put several paper clips, the little heart paper clips, and then, this goes this way, some of the little digital pieces from Ruby and Pearl. These are both vintage. This is a vintage little letter, and then this is a vintage liqueur label. So I put a lot of fun. Some things are digital, some things are original. So this is some scrapbook paper. Here's a pocket. This is a vintage little letter. Alaska Wildflowers, 1979. And then there's a little saver stamp in there. More scrapbook paper. I did put buttons in the signatures. This is a vintage book page that I folded it into an envelope, so you can seal it and use it as an envelope, or if you want to do something else with it, you can. And I just wrapped it around the page and clipped it with this. I just got some of these really cool paper clips. I like these. So more coffee dyed paper. This is like a mixed media type paper. This is just a very lightly tea dyed paper. I put a piece of embossed paper in here with the doilies, and then this is from a vintage book. It's a little weekly planner type book. And there's the other side of that, so it folds over. So you can cut that and use it as pockets, or you can make tags or whatever you want to do with that. Oops, let me do that. More scrapbook paper. Lots of blank space in this one, and lots of little goodies tucked in. This is a printable, which is really pretty, and I backed this onto some file folder, so it makes a nice little label. And this is actually an Armed Forces Liberty Pass, and that is true vintage. So there's a variety of things that I tucked in here. Here's a piece of really old vintage wallpaper that I did some more of that paste on, and just a plain book tag. And then there's a little scrap of some vintage paper back there to use. Pockets, buttons in the middle of the signature. And if you don't like the way the buttons are in the middle of this, you can always cut the buttons out. You don't have to leave them in there. And then this is something I made some of these a while back, and these were with some ruby and pearl vintage printables. So I made this pocket. Whoop. And I just dumped half of that out. So I made this pocket with some embossed paper. See that? And some of her printables. And then I tucked in another really old, this is from 1912. This is an envelope with a letter inside. And then these are some more printables that are ruby and pearl that I backed. This I just backed on some tea stain paper. That's backed on some file folder. And then this one that I just dropped. And this is also one of her printables that I backed onto just some tea stain paper. And I just clipped this in here. This is a little bit thicker. This pocket is a little thicker. And then this paper is some of the mixed media paper. Another one of those that's on a vintage book page. Here is an envelope that I made from an Edith Holden. Book page with these beautiful flowers on it. Foxglove. So you can glue that if you want to. I just left it. And then this is some just like type, just regular craft kind of paper that we use to wrap things, like a wrapping paper that I embossed. That would be fun to play with. Put some of that in there. Like I said, in the previous video, I was just going to clip things in. I wasn't going to do any embellishing. So there's a piece of vintage wallpaper here, and then there's two pieces of this 5-year diary from the 20s. Put that in there. Some more tea-dyed. Kept this pretty simple. Some of the scraps of paper, and then in here I tucked, this was a graphics fairy envelope, and then again I did not glue that. That way you can take it apart if you want to. This is some handmade paper from Heather at Rose Hill Paper Cottage. I bought a little package of goodies from her one time, and this was in there. And I still had it in my stash, and I haven't used it, so I thought I would add that. And then this is another little piece of vintage wallpaper. I just went through all my little goodies and picked some things that I thought would be really fun to use in here. So here's another printable, just some other little card pieces. Here's a Graphics Fairy postcard printable that I just backed onto file folder. I love these. I think they're so pretty. And they look, I mean, they just look vintage, you know, even though they're printables. And then here is another Ruby and Pearl printable from some of her photographs, and a piece of vellum that's been embossed that I thought might be fun. And that's been backed as well onto some other paper. So it gives it some sturdiness. There is a little tear in this paper. I just noticed that. Let me know if you want me to put something over that. I just noticed that that was torn there. If you just want me to leave it and you'll do what you want to with it. Here's some more embossed paper. So you can, this is a different floral image embossed. And then a scrap from the paper. Here's a little project life card that says live, laugh, love, and living the good life on this side. And then some of these little list pieces. And there is a another embossed. This is a green file folder that I embossed. This would be fun to paint or ink, you know, and turn it into a little pocket. And another scrap, and another postcard from Graphics Fairy, and then a vintage. This is a true vintage thank you card. It's blank with the envelope and a little claim check. So I just kind of tuck these down in here like this, and then like this. Another printable from Ruby and Pearl. And then this is the back. And then there's a little, there's a playing card in there, and there's a little vintage photo slide. And then these are some little papers. This also came from Heather. A bunch of little pieces of scrap that you can use throughout the journal. Okay. So that is that one. All right. Let me know about that page if you want me to like put some washi or something over that page to my customer. I just realized that there was a little rip in that page. So that's gonna happen with junk journals, right? Okay, so here's the nice little pack that comes, your surprise pack. It comes with this one. And I added the charm, and I put pinks and reds and some it's a darker green, a little bit of beige, this little key that has like some sort of tinting on it. So there's, like I said, there's buttons, vintage buttons. There's a little flower button. There's some red ones on here. There's these little pink beads. And then there's a leaf. And there's a ladybug down here. Just really, really pretty. I tried not to chunk it up too much, but make you a nice chunky charm. And then inside there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 signatures in this one. There's a little over 80 pages in here, so if you count that, both sides, you know, it's like 160 pages. I'm gonna send you this envelope. I took all the things that I had stuck in here and clipped in here, but I'm gonna give you this envelope too. These are vintage envelopes. They're really neat. I love this this tone of this paper. Anyway, so I've clipped a bunch of things in here. There's a, I don't know what you call these things. Let's see. This is from 1946. Veteran of foreign wars. So it's looks like it's a, no, it's not a request for donations. This is about hospital equipment and things like that, but it's really neat. It's a reply card, like a little postcard, and then I kept this on here. It's got a rusty paper clip. That's how I got that. And I think that was in that vintage packet of things that I bought from Heather a while back. And then this is a Ruby and Pearl printable. Look at all these little girls. They're so cute. Anyway. So I just clipped those things. Here's a piece from that Wallflower or Wildflower book. So I put several, you know, little floral things in here. Here's another one of her printable photos. There's a little kitty cat card. I'm just gonna flip because there's a lot of blank space in here. This is one of my patterns, one of my printable patterns that I have in my stash. I just fussy cut those little girls out and clip them in with a little heart paper clip. Vintage card. I showed some of this before. Here is one of the cards I recently purchased, and then here is, which you'll see a video of that coming up. Here's a little vintage flashcard, and I'm not sure what the language is, but this is yesterday. And then there's this photo. It's almost like a negative photo that comes off a proof sheet. I stuck that in here. I thought she was cool. Thought she kind of went with this whole, you know, I clipped in several pages from the Granny Chic. Another printable. This is some really cool typewritten, like carbon, like the back piece of letters. It's got that kind of purpley writing on it. I don't know if you can see it, but barely. I just thought it's a really neat, really nice feeling paper. It's a lot of different textures of paper in this one. And then here's another, there's another bag of goodies. There's some tags, and then some stationery, yes check, some of these blue tags. Let's see, some of those little list things, and then a little slide. I'm gonna stick this little slide down in here. Paper clip on here. Got the shape, y'all. Don't show me. And then that's really nice vintage ledger. This is tracing paper, that really nice ledger that I love. Yeah. So lots and lots of space in this one, and lots of fun things tucked in. Here's another little printable. I love this little image. And I printed this on sort of a manila color cardstock so that you get that kind of even more aged feel. So it didn't really look white, you know, in the background. Another Granny Chic page, and another page from the Wildflower book. Children's book page. So the purpose of this one really was to sort of try out the whole, this is paper clipped on, was to sort of try out the cover and, you know, go with some more sort of blanker pages like Johanna did in her journals. Here's one of those little cards. Here is a little, okay, come out of there, come on. This is Come Join the Crowd. It's a little vintage invitation. So it's like for a little picnic or something. With the actual envelope. I forgot I had these. Some of these things get kind of tucked away in my stash and I forget. Vintage flashcard. And then this is on your wedding anniversary. This is a vintage card I have. Wishing you many years of happiness. I just thought it was a really cute little image that you can use, and nobody's used it, and it opens all the way up. So I thought it would be fun. Clip those in. Different ledger. Another children's, you can tell that one was well loved. Another children's that came from a dictionary. There's more of that paper. Ledger. Another really cool children's book page in the middle of the signature. Oh, let me just knock my stuff down over here. Sorry about that. Here's another one of those that I folded up like an envelope with the birds. That's really pretty. Really pretty book page. So that's the other side of that dictionary. More Granny Chic. And then I love this right here. Hang your clothes on the line. They'll be Infused with sun and breeze and birdsong. This is from that Wildflower book. And then one of my favorite images is this one right here. Love that. Tucked in some more little goodies in here. There's some more tags and things. I'm not gonna pull everything out. This is some wallpaper that I stitched onto this bag. So you can see there's some vintage playing cards and other goodies, inventory tags in there. I just clipped it. I want you to be able to use these things how you want to. Here's another, and these are some of my, which I've said this before, these are some of my absolute favorite things. So here's another little pattern that I cut out, another flashcard, and this really cool. I bought these a while back. It's a drafting. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a drafting negative, but I thought this would be fun. I got a few of those in my stash. I bought them from Johnny Everett Junk Journal Shop a long time ago. Haven't used them. Another one of these, because I love these. I just love these photos, these printable photos. I love those. I love the old Polaroid photos and the photos that this is not like a Polaroid, but the pictures from like the 50s, the 40s and the 50s. They always had the little mat around them. And then here's the fifth signature, another floral Polaroid and another Granny Chic page. Ledger, another floral. This is blank on this side children's book page from the Seasons book. That's illustrated by Eloise Wilkins. Tons and tons and tons of writing space or spaces to add photos and all your goodies. So here's some little vintage ledger signature pieces, a little Jen scorecard, another flashcard, and another Polaroid, this is like a Polaroid printable. But they're so pretty. They're also pretty, like the colors. Oh, I just love them all. Another page from the flower book. And more of the same types of things. So I put very similar, you know, kind of a pattern, so to speak, throughout each. Oh, and this is getting bent. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to do something with this. This is some stationery. I wasn't supposed to do like that. Just straighten that out. All right. Just gonna do this another way. This is a couple of pieces of stationery with an envelope that I picked up from, let's do it here, like this. From Katie, at Katie's Tribe of Five a while back. Thought that would be fun, and I love this color. And then another, no Polaroid, and more Granny Chic. So tons of really fun stuff, especially, you know, if you want to, if you just journal. I mean, I think this will be great with photos too, but if you're a big journaler, whatever you want to my customer, whatever you want to use it for, I hope I put plenty of fun things in here for you, and that you really enjoy this one, and treasure it, and know that this is my first journal of this kind. So anyway, and I will be doing some more of these at some point. I've pulled a lot of things out. This took me a while to kind of work it out in my brain how I wanted to do it, and I've pulled up all my linens, you know, that I potentially want to use, and vintage sheets and things like that. So and some images that I want to use, but these will probably take me a month or two. I'm going to do a few of them and see how they go. This one turned out, I really liked it, but this is challenging. Johanna, and very Johanna inspired, and how she did hers, I've watched her video many times. Mine are not going to be like that. I don't have quite as many linens, and I think I'm going to try to keep mine a little more simple because I think that's what bogged me down in the beginning, you know, is, you know, her style is her style and my style is my style, and you know, you can do similar things, but they're always going to look different when you put your own take on them. You can't really and I love her style and I love her. She is such an inspiration, but I don't want my things to look exactly like hers. You know, I want them to have my sort of take on them. But I love her ideas. She's super, super clever girl. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and thank you to my customers, and I hope you like them. And of course, as always, if you change your mind, you just let me know. No big deal. I'll put it in the shop, okay? Anyway, so I got a little small haul video too. I don't know which one I'm gonna post first, but anyway, I got another little small haul video coming too. And then I'm working on some beach summer themed journals. I may, if I get a chance to kind of show you bits and pieces of that while I'm working, I will. It just depends. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, the fabric wrap journal is also spoken for, but I've got something I need to add for her, so that video will come later. If you guys want to look at that, I'll do a flip through for her later. Anyway, love you guys. See you soon. Bye.